RadNet, a stronger and more connected community. It's a vision for a better future.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Again, I didn't announce that this was going on. Actually, it was kind of spur of the moment. So I'm not expecting a lot of people to be in here. I literally just got finished a really cool interview. If you guys haven't checked it out yet, I highly recommend you guys going to check it out tomorrow or later tonight. I had the pleasure to interview the new head of Anchor Bay Entertainment. It was a great conversation. Those guys were super cool. I mean, we talked for a while afterwards. They're just really down to earth guys. And I'm excited to kind of see what goes on with that brand and the label. So I decided to pop back on again because our show was early tonight. And you know me, most of my shows I do late night. So we got done really early. And I said, you know what? I have some stuff I want to do. Maybe I'll just go back live and just see if anybody pops in and we can kind of just do this thing live. If not, hopefully you guys watch it on the replay because I'm going to talk about something different tonight. I'm going to talk about video games, specifically a video game, my all-time favorite video game I want to talk about. And I want to see what you guys have any memories of this. And I just got a really cool edition in that I bought about a year ago and it finally came in and I want to unbox that with you. I want to see exactly what this edition holds. I think that, again, if you guys have never heard of this game, I would love to chat about it. If you guys have, I'd love to chat about it. I can really put this into my series. I do a series called Rad Memories where I talk about memories of a specific thing. I can really put this in that Rad Memories type of, playlist because, again, I have so many memories with this game. I am not a gamer, guys, now. I am just not. The last game I played on a regular basis was Friday the 13th, which I loved. But when that kind of shit the bed, I tried to get into all those other horror games that people were playing, and I just never could get into it. Friday the 13th, I loved. I couldn't get into Evil Dead. I couldn't get into Texas Chainsaw Massacre. There was another one that everybody kind of went to after Friday the 13th closed down, and I couldn't get into that either. But when it comes to video games, I was a huge fan throughout my childhood. Big fan. And I want to talk about that tonight because it's not something that I talk about often on the channel. And I know there's a lot of people out there that love video games, maybe even retro games. So I definitely want to talk about that as I unbox this. But before we even start, I want to pop in and see who has scrolled over and to check this out. Wet Movie 1. Brendan, what's going on, man? Big pimpin'. Gonna love it when the round is live. Yeah, man, I just did a double tonight. So this was unexpected. This was spur of the moment. I don't even have a thumbnail made. There's been no promotion for this, but I hope that people will come back and check it out. What's up, Saturn Video Nintendo boys? We rocking. We're back at it again. What's up, man? Noise Loop in the house. Such a great interview. I bet you never thought back in the day. No, I never thought back in the day I'd be doing an interview with the founders or the co-founders of Anchor Bay Entertainment. No, I have never thought that. It's weird how things work out. I never thought in a million years I would be doing shows with Dead Pit Radio. I never in a million years thought I would be talking to Brendan at Wet Movie 1. It's just crazy. Sorry if my mic was low. It's just crazy to see like what can be done in when it comes to things like social media, and it's just crazy the connections you can make through that kind of stuff. And it's wild. Very, very wild. What up, Mark? Good evening. I'm new here to your channel. Thank you, dude. I hope you enjoy the content so far. Again, I love when people chime into the live shows because this is where I can really interact late at night with you guys. Because I don't really have a lot of concepts here. Like, this is a pretty decent concept, but a lot of shows, if I have multiple people on the show, it's a lot harder to get to all the questions and whatnot. So this is awesome, man. Thank you for coming in. If you guys aren't subscribed to the channel and you're checking this out, please sub. My big goal for the year is 10,000 subs. We still have a ways to go, guys, but it's still early in the year, and I know that we can really get there. The community is super strong. You guys are loving these interactions and the live streams. I just put on my room tour too. If you haven't checked that out, check it out. Please share that video around. It's not as long as Room Tour 1, but it did take a lot of editing and ideas to get that thing to be as nice as I wanted it to be. So I appreciate anything that you guys can do to share it out. get people to check it out. I'm proud of it. And I also think what's nice about it is it really leaves a lot of doors open into doing more cool content like that and keep content growing in the sense that I didn't go through every single thing in that room, but you get an idea of what's in there and you can come to me and say, hey, I would love to check out your Anchor Bay collection. I would love to. Somebody said, Kate, would you ever do a video on your NECA collection? Of course. But those are the what I wanted to do when it came to that room. There's just so much in there that I want you guys to give me the feedback and say, hey, I would love to see this again. And then I would do a separate video talking about that in more depth. Because if I was to go through everything in that room, it would have been like a 3-hour show. So, or 3-hour video to edit. So, but yeah, guys, if you haven't checked out Room Tour 2, super proud of it. Please share it around. I highly appreciate that. I put a lot of effort into the layout of my movie room here and then my movie library. So definitely appreciate that. And like I said, that's also going to be a second studio. I'm just waiting on a desk. So you'll see me streaming from in there a lot more as well. So back to the chat. I do see that there are people chiming in as well. So thank you guys for popping in. The Fat Pig, the Conqueror. I think I'll definitely get Killer Clowns. I mean, I'll try it just like I tried Texas Chainsaw, just like I tried Evil Dead. I think another reason is that when Friday the 13th came out, I wasn't doing YouTube. A lot of other people, some other YouTubers at the time, my friends, we would all go late night and do Friday the 13th as like with the headsets on. And, then all of a sudden now I got YouTube going on. I've got a full-time job. I got a career. I got a family, and it's trying to find things to do. And like all of a sudden late at night, if I have time, I'm like, I'm going to stream. So I think that life's just very different. So if I can kind of back off a little bit when something comes out, maybe other people be interested in it. We start doing some stuff a couple nights a week or once a week. I think it'd be really, really cool. It'd be very much that way, where Texas Chainsaw, Evil Dead, I feel like I was kind of playing by myself. Wiley Draws, what's up, man? Do you know the name of the first episode you did with Dead Pit? I would love to check it out. And how'd you guys connect? Okay. The first episode I did with Dead Pit. Now, I don't remember because I did some stuff with Wes first. Hold on. My camera, I think, is acting up over here. Let me just check. I did stuff with Wes first. So Wes and I became friends first. And Wes and the Dead Pit and Uncle Bill, they had kind of stopped doing stuff for a while in like 2010, 11-ish. And Wes was starting a new group called WrestleManiacs, and it was going to be a couple people, and we were just going to talk about wrestling on YouTube and stuff like that. And he knew I was a huge wrestling fan, so he asked me if I wanted to be part of the WrestleManiacs, and it was me, Wes, my friend Fred the Wolf, Jason Schneeberger, who used to have a channel called Beyond the Realms, Corey from S'mores Indoors, and Pizow. So we used to be the WrestleManiacs, and we would do Wrestle Talk. We would talk about old pay-per-views. We'd review current pay-per-views that had just happened. We'd meet after the pay-per-view and do a post-show. So that's how I met. That's how I got a little bit closer to those guys. And then in 2020, Wes wanted to bring Dead Pit back to YouTube, but wasn't sure if Uncle Bill was going to do it. So at the time, he and Pizow were pushing me like, hey, man, you got a great collection. Why don't you start your own channel? Da, 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 da. And I said, you know what? I just bought all this equipment for work because I was locked down through COVID. So maybe I'll do that. And that's kind of where it started. And I think I probably did a couple shows with Wes on Dead Pit before I even started my channel. What the first one was, I don't remember. But it started with just me and him doing a Dead Pit show because I said to him, well, if you're going to do it alone and, you need somebody to kind of keep you motivated and vice versa, like, let me know. And so I kind of helped out a little bit. And then when Uncle Bill realized that he didn't have to go to Wes's house to record anymore like the old days, he just had to do it from his house. He was like, I want to make this work. Let's do this. And, he came back into the fold, and that's where I met him. So, I met him later. Now, as far as the first episode, I don't remember. You'd have to go back to if you go to Dead Pit's channel, you'd have to go back to late 2020. I'm saying that's probably one of the earlier ones. You could tell because I don't have any kind of good setup or anything and whatnot. But I had met Wes in like 2010, maybe. I was a big fan of the Dead Pit show. I used to go in the message boards and kind of creep around and see what people were talking about. And Wes had posted something. He had said something on the podcast about wanting to get healthier, lose weight. So I reached out to him and I said, "Hey man, just a heads up, I'm a full-time fitness trainer. And if you need any advice, let me know." And he hit me back and we talked for a while and I gave him a bunch of advice and he ended up losing 100 pounds. So ever since then, we became friends, and that's how I met Wes. And that's kind of how that all started. So again, long story for a short answer, I guess. But yeah, it's cool. It's a cool story. I actually um, had been talking to them about maybe coming on the show and doing like a history of how we all met and whatnot. What up, Adrian? Retro, what's going on? Saturn Video, Xbox is his favorite console. If I had to pick, what do I think my favorite console was? Man, I'm crossing between I'd probably say Sega Genesis was my favorite, I would think. Um, if I had to pick one, thinking. Favorite games of all time, original Resident Evil 2. I remember when that came out. Yeah. What is this? A super chat from who? Lewis. What's up, brother? Thanks for the room tour. So Deadman was on the final. So the Deadman was the final boss for the show. Talking about WrestleMania. Yeah, man, it was cool. WrestleMania was fun. Hopefully you guys checked out our post show we did, and I appreciate that on the room tour. Thank you so much, and man, thank you so much for that super chat, dude. You guys don't need to do this. It's super cool of you guys to do. I mean, I don't even know what to say when you guys do that. I mean, it's obviously I am thrilled. I don't want that to be the expectation, but it really does help out, with time and creating more content and whatnot, and the channel itself. And like I said, I'm trying to get a nice desk for the new studio. So anything like that helps. I'm super appreciative to all the support, guys. I mean, the best thing you can do for me is show up, watch the videos, come see what's up live, hit the like button, share my stuff, watch some of my pre-recorded videos. Like those are the best things you can do for me to get this thing growing. But thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. I'm going to give you a little Haim action. All right. I think I missed some people. Let me go back really quick. I'll try to scroll through. Like I said, I have time. I can do this. Ian Lives. What's up, Ian? Go check out Ian Lives. Go check him out. The Young Guard keeping horror alive, and I am all for it. I don't want horror to die with me. I don't want it to die with all of us doing this now. I want there to be some young up and comers that are going to keep the love for these cool movies alive. So go check out Ian. Big Mark says, I do enjoy your content. I viewed some of your videos. Impressive. Thank you very much, man. Everything I do, I try to do my best. So I wasn't going to ever come into something half-assed. What's up, Giggles? What's going on? Room tour was amazing. Thank you, man. Jesse, movie room was a thing of beauty. A collection collected a dream about. You're very lucky, man. Well, I appreciate that, man. But you know what? I want... It's interesting. I don't know how to talk about this because a lot of people, those comments like, oh, it must be nice to be rich. I'm not rich. Okay. For one, that's not the case. I'm creative. I will give you that. I'm creative. I have visions. You guys also have to remember, and people need to remember, that I've been collecting things like physical media, movie related items, retro stuff for 20 years. This didn't all just come out of nowhere. This is 20 years every single week collecting something, right? This is not, I started 3 years ago. So everything that you guys see was stuff that I've been collecting since I was living at my parents' house, since I was a late teen, since I had my own money, like with jobs and stuff. So that's a lot of like the quantity of what I have, is that it's just been a long, long road. Now, I lived in my parents' house. I started collecting. I built shelves in there. I had DVDs on the shelves. I had VHS on a shelf. I had sold my VHS collection to make more rooms for my DVDs because they were all over the floor. I had posters on the wall. So my bedroom was kind of like a mini movie room at the time. I had a computer in there, all this other stuff. Then I bought a condo and I built a movie room because here where I live, we have like basements that are basically like they're finished. So it's like another whole living room. So when I bought my condo, I had made a little movie room. It was like my dream room. I had one whole wall of movies. I had posters. It was everything I wanted. We lived there for about 6 years or so. And then it was time to buy a house, bigger place. And obviously when I was looking for a house, one of the things was I needed to have somewhere to store all my stuff, display all my stuff, right? Like that was something that I needed. That was a precursor to the house that I agreed to buy. Was I needed something because I have this big collection that I love and I needed somewhere to put it. Now, we found a house that had basically it's almost like a second apartment in here. And that was I said I'm going to dedicate that to all my stuff. So, yes, I was lucky to find a place that had the space I needed. But at the same time, I also think that I'm really creative on how I make things work and how I want them to look. I could have that room just full of crap, but I have 6 totes of DVDs in a storage room, and Blu-rays stored away. Stuff that maybe I don't think I'm going to ever watch again. Maybe things I have doubles of. Maybe things that. So I have stuff in totes. I have a home gym that has posters in it. I have a home gym that I have another hallway down here that's got a life-size gremlin. I have an area where I have all my vinyls. I mean, I have things scattered about, but like I said before, I like things to look neat, even though I have a lot of stuff. So that was really it. And I had that room that was a storage room that I said, you know what? What's the point of having this another storage room? I've already got a little storage room over here. Let's make this a movie library. And that's what I did. I just refinished a room and I designed it the way I wanted. So again, I appreciate it and I'm very fortunate. I'm very fortunate to have the space that I have because I know some people do not. But I also think that if you have a vision of what you want your thing to look like and you game plan and try to utilize space to your advantage, I think you can make anything look really cool. The hardest part is when you keep collecting and you get more stuff than you have spots to put. That's the toughest part. And that's why I had to rehaul that room because I had no more shelf space. So I ripped all the autographs off the wall. If you haven't checked out that video, you can check out my autograph wall that was there that I added shelves to so I can house more movies. Anyhow, I appreciate it. I just wanted to give you a nice backstory on the movie room itself because I've been reading a lot of the comments coming through. Everybody seems to love it, which thank you. I love having it. I'm very fortunate to have it. But I want to just give you an idea of like, it's not something that just came overnight. You guys all are in different situations, but no matter what your spot looks like, your space looks like, be creative with it. Even sometimes some paint and, can make a big difference. So thank you again. What up, man? How you doing, brother? Good to see you. Witch Hunter says, I'm getting back into collecting action figures. A NECA collection would be great. Yeah. So guys, if you want it was earlier in the YouTube game. If you go on my page and just type in search NECA, Born to be Rad, I actually do a video with Uncle Bill where we showcase our NECA collections, but this is like 2 years ago. And we showcase some of our favorites. It's a real cool video. I don't think a lot of people saw it though, because I at the time, I probably only had like a couple hundred subscribers. So if you're really into NECA, go search for that video with me and Uncle Bill. It's a cool one. But I mean, I can always, once I get the desk in there, I can do an updated NECA video. I have a lot more now. So I'm definitely going to do that. No question about it. Mark's been a fan of wrestling since 1977 until today. That's awesome, man. I started watching in 87 and I'm a fan to this day. I actually wrestled in the indies. Very short period of time. I kind of wish I didn't quit. It's always something I kind of regret. Because I was actually pretty good for the amount of time that I did it. I went to wrestling school. for about a year, year and a half. I was pretty good. And unfortunately, a lot was going on in life at the time that I couldn't squeeze that in anymore. And when my idea was to take a break and it became forever, and I kind of regret that. But I got out of wrestling about 2020 and I got back in recently. So it's good to be back. It's good to be back. Thank you, Rob. I appreciate that. The lost boy himself. Nintendo NES was my first system as well, and I loved it. Super chat coming in. Gus! Guys, give it up for Gus. This dude has been supportive of me since day one. I don't even know how he found me. I don't remember, but this dude rocks. He's rad as hell. He's always supportive of the channel from day one. He still watches the stuff. He still supports. Man, I don't know what to say, man, but thank you, Gus. And I walked into that room and I went, and everything I wanted came. So you hit it right on the head, man. Thank you so much for that. By the time I get into my topic, it's going to be like an hour, but let's get a little Feld Dog. Woo! Woo! I miss some people now, so let me see. I'll try to go back to the chat. You guys are killing it. I got to get to what I'm going to talk about here. Hold on. I'm scrolling. What's up, Alex? How are you? Fozzie Rotten. What's up, man? Garrett's an OG, has been since day one. Thank you, man. And Foz Rotten, go check him out. Foz is another one who's been a loyal supporter since day one. Fozzie is also somebody that's been, I've known Foz by name longer than he thinks because, again, like I said, I was creeping around the Dead Pit message boards. I was very quiet in there at the time, which is another thing I do regret because I should have got to know a lot of this OG crew earlier in the game. I was kind of just there seeing what they're talking about. Are they talking about any movies I need to check out? I was kind of quiet, which I wish I wasn't because Foz is awesome. All those guys are great. Check out Foz Rotten. Check out his YouTube. He's about to start a new series. What is it called, Fozzie? Say it in the chat. Is it Movie Punks? Is that what it's called? Promote it in here, man. Chris C, the Slasher dude. I'm back, man. Thank you. Yeah, go check out Chris C as well. Thank you, dude. Lewis is a huge collector. The wife hated it all, so I basically stopped and went digital. 4K brought me back. Nice, man. Nice. Alex says I'm starting to buy a lot of DVD and VHS retro stuff, Blu-ray magazine. Yeah, man. I think, and again, maybe people that watch my video and people that watch my interview with Anchor Bay that I just did are going to be like, I think DVD is going to kind of come back more or less from a collecting standpoint rather than it's my favorite way to watch a movie. Because the nostalgia is heavy with that. I think the same way that VHS is with a lot of people, because again, everybody's aging out a little bit. And I still love my DVD stuff. If you saw my new movie room tour, you're probably like, wow, this dude still has a shit ton of DVDs. I do. And a lot of those I'll never get rid of. They're just so unique. They're so nostalgic. They bring back so many memories for me because that was my favorite time to collect. It was kind of around the time where I felt like I was the only one collecting like that. And then when I came onto YouTube and I realized, holy crap, there's so many people like me out there. It's wild. What up, John Doe? Go check out John Doe as well. What up, dude? Do a Saw 11 teaser trailer reaction. Is there one out? Is there a Saw trailer out? I never saw X, but I mean, I'll be happy to do a reaction later. Let me see. Here we go. Movie Punks with David Deathray over on his channel. We are doing Night of the Demons 2 on Saturday. Thank you, brother. You're welcome, man. Go check out Davy Deathray. Fozzie, I'm promoting. I don't even know this guy. I'm promoting Davy Deathray. Go tell him he better be subbed over here, bro. All right, man. Look at this guy. He's going to go study. Get it done, man. Good luck. Nothing but wrestling. Hey, I love the WrestleManiac show. Did you ever have the video game? Of course, man. I have it currently, and I also have the manual, like the little strategy guide. I'm gonna tell you that was my favorite wrestling game for a long time. The jump between, I think the last one I played might have been like Warzone, which was hot garbage. And then you put in WCW versus the World. I can remember that. And that's actually another rad memories, another video for another time because I have great nostalgia with it. I'm gonna save that story and do a separate video on that. Sorry guys, I'm skipping around. Okay, no, you didn't. I haven't done it yet. So let's talk now. Let's talk. So people on the replay, I apologize if it's taking you this long for me to get to the point of all this. But growing up, Nintendo NES was my first system ever. I had Mario, Duck Hunt, I think Excite Bike, Pro Wrestling were big ones that I was a kid. And there was one game that I played on NES for the first time, and it freaking changed everything for me. I've talked about this before. I was always very interested in horror-esque things growing up. Kid on the playground had a Frankenstein toy. I wanted it. Boglins, I wanted it. My Pet Monster, wanted it. I would get books from the library in elementary school. Godzilla, I was a big fan of. I would buy these books that were horror-esque, right? So like Bunnicula was one that I loved. I would read all those books. Mrs. Nelson is Missing. It's about a scary teacher named Viola Swamp. I used to rent that all the time from the bookstore at school because it was kind of creepy and scary. I used to get these orange Crestwood books, King Kong, Dracula. These are the type of things that I used to want to check out at the library at school as a little kid. The Witches from Roald Dahl, like Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. I was always intrigued by things that were horror-esque, right? I don't know why, but it was always something that intrigued me that I was always interested in. So a game came across my plate. I think my neighbor, Zach and Ashley, they owned it, and I had never heard of it before. And when I played it, it felt like a horror movie. Living in the suburbs, living in neighborhoods like you would see in things like Fright Night and The Burbs. A lot of these things that take place like this, they really resonate with me because it was kind of like the way I lived. It was like my neighborhood, right? So the game, I didn't own it. I don't think on VH. My neighbor did. Maybe we bought it, but we had sold a lot of Nintendo games when the next system came out. I think when Nintendo 64 came out, we sold a lot of our Nintendo games to pay for N64 games. So I think it must have hit that. I must have traded into a store called Babbage's at the time. But we then got a computer and we got a PC and we realized, oh my God, this game was out for the PC. So we bought it. And I still have my PC game to this day. And it's for a game called Maniac Mansion. And this is my absolute favorite game ever made, was this game Maniac Mansion. Some of you might say, holy shit, I love that game. Some of you say, I don't know what the heck that game is. But the first time I ever played it was on Nintendo. The second time I ever played it was, I remember going to the mall and buying the PC version of this game when we got our first computer at the house. Now, the PC actually was a cooler version than the Nintendo one. It was a little bit more, the graphics were better. There was a little bit more like scary elements to it. Like you go to the prison and there was like a skeleton chained up. Like it was just a really cool game. A lot cooler looking. If you look at the back, it's got a real cool image of the family. I could talk about the game if you guys don't know anything about it, but I can read the back. Maniac Mansion, pardon the mess. It's all those brain donors. Ever since that meteor landed, strange things have been sighted at Dr. Fred's old mansion. Disembodied tentacles hopping around, chainsaws in the kitchen, plants with unusual appetites, an odd glow from the swimming pool. And now, sweet Sandy, the cheerleader, is in Fred's clutches. So round up your pals, take a deep breath, and get ready for the weirdest, funniest, funnest adventure of your life. Maniac Mansion by Lucas Films. Let me know in the comments if anybody remembers Maniac Mansion. This is still the original computer game from the PC. I'm going to tell you the date this thing came out. Where's the date here? It says IBM. This date is I don't know the date on this. I'll have to look, but you got floppy disks in there. Look at this. Remember these things? Look at that. Boom. Incredible. Incredible game. Fantastic. I can't believe I still own this thing. It's that this thing actually goes for a pretty penny online. I could probably sell this for a couple $100. It's something I'll never get rid of. I love it. It just brings back so many memories. This was my game that I bought, or we bought as kids. Fan friggin' tastic. Okay, so what's up, Davey Deathray? He's in the house. What's up, dude? Go check him out. People are giving a little. Maniac Mansion was great. Batman game was great too. That's cool, man. Paperboy, I love that game. Now, let me know if anybody in here has never heard of Maniac Mansion before. Again, it's so good. And it's about, like I said, it's about a house that there's a family that lives in the house that have stolen a cheerleader. And you get all these kids that go to the house and they have to try to get in and save her. But you can get caught. And then you go in, they have like a prison, like a jail cell in their basement. And you have different characters that have different attributes, right? There's like a nerd, a jock, surfer. There's like a musician. There's a punk rock chick, and you could pick like different characters to make your little clan, and then you guys would try to go into the house and find the girl. And all this stuff kind of happens. And you could play like Ding Dong Ditch and stuff like on the people. Like you'd ring the doorbell and hide. It was super fun, man. Super, super fun. And yes, there was a TV show back in the day, but I never liked the show. I always felt like it never really did this justice. It was more like a comedy. I never liked it. But what I will say is that I've always thought that this would make a crazy ass movie. I always thought this would make such a fantastic horror movie that someone should do, because it literally is all written out right here. Agree. A point and click game. That's exactly what it was. It was like, what's that other one that they did? It was like some adventure of, oh man, what was it called? There was another one that was very similar to that. They're asking me about wrestling. I don't think it was the best, but I thought it was good. So we're talking about Maniac Mansion. They were fire. Yes. Now, what does this mean? I said unboxing. What am I talking about? Willie Beamish was a good game. That was a point and click, but it was something else. It was like a pirate one or something. Oh man, I loved King's Quest too. We had King's Quest, but not that one. Nope, not Myst. It was the island of if you guys said it, I'd know. Let me see if it says it on the back of anything like that. We'll think of it as we go. So the one thing I regretted is getting rid of the Nintendo game. That's Monkey Island. That's what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. Adventures of Monkey Island. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Thank you, Frank. So a couple years ago, so one thing I always regretted was to get rid of the Nintendo game. And I've tried to get it, but it goes for a couple $100 if I want it complete. And you know us as kids, we never kept the boxes anyways. So I never picked it up. But there's a company, and you guys should check this company out, called Limited Run Games. Okay. Now, this is a company that will reproduce old games. They will take old games and put them on current systems. So really cool stuff they do. And they sell them, and it's a very limited quantity that they sell. I've purchased stuff from them before. I got Night Trap was a Sega CD game from when I was a kid. I never had Sega CD, but it was always one of those games that was like, oh my God, it's being banned. And it was all over the news. And I always wanted to play it. And it was a horror related game. And I never got to play it. There was a video game with Corey Haim for Sega CD. I own it. I never had a Sega CD, but I bought it because of Corey Haim, but they released it for PlayStation 4. They released, what's the other one I just said? Night Trap for PlayStation 4. So I grabbed them. So now I can play those old school games on PlayStation 4. It's really cool, guys. It's a really cool site called Limited Run Games. Yeah, Night Trap for sure. So they do stuff like this. So you guys need to check them out. I bought like a Ninja Turtles arcade set or whatever. So recently, this was a year ago, they said we're going to reproduce Maniac Mansion for Nintendo and for the PC. They're going to replicate exactly what I have here and make it a very limited edition, cool box set. Fortunately, I have this, so I was like, I don't need that. But I didn't have the Nintendo one. So I bought this big bundle of a reproduced Maniac Mansion for Nintendo, complete in box. I have not seen this yet. I just got it. I took it out of the box, and this is what it looks like. It's in this big case. Look at this. Very similar to those Katana collectible cases that I talked about the other day. This could be very much from them. But check that out. So this is the outer box. There's stuff in here, guys, and I'm going to unbox it now and see exactly what I'm getting with this edition. Now, I ordered this probably a year ago, and it just came. So it takes a while for them to get this stuff done. I don't know if they do like made to order or whatever, but I want to see what's in here. I want to talk about this with you guys, but here's the cover for this box set. Maniac Mansion. It says on the back, Lucasfilms and Limited Run Games. Very, very cool. Now look at it. It's got a slip cover on a freaking video game. This is like a collector's dream right here. Slip cover. You've got this cool front here. On the back, it says Limited Run Games. I'm going to move this so I don't wreck it. Now let's see what comes inside here. Ooh. Ooh. Look at this. Sealed. Maniac Mansion. This is the NES. This is cool, man. This brings back a lot of memories here. Now, inside here is a Nintendo cartridge, which means you can play it on a Nintendo if you have one. And it's got directions in here. I don't know if I'm going to open this. I think I'm going to get a separate display case for this and probably display this in the back of my new studio in like a shadow box or something. I don't think I'm going to open this because I don't have a working Nintendo anyways. I've got a Nintendo Mini, but not a working Nintendo. But I always wanted this back in my collection. If I had a Nintendo working, I'd probably open this. But just to have a sealed copy of this, even though it's a reproduction, to me, it's still so sentimental to have this. And it comes with more goodies in here as well that I want to showcase. Now we've got a little patch, little Maniac Mansion patch. I think there's 2 in here. Maybe not. Maniac Mansion patch. I get a poster, which is cool. So you get this cool poster here. Now on the other side, though, it's the family. That's the family on the other side. Really cool. So I got the poster there. And it comes with the soundtrack. Because this has a crazy soundtrack, dude. Like every character has a theme song. So look at all the tracks. So it comes with the soundtrack. Man, I really kind of want to open this now. Shoot. Oh, yeah. Now what's in here? Is this something else? What was this? What is this? Oh, no, I got pins. keychain. Look at the keychain. It's a little Maniac Mansion NES game. And then this is like a little reflective. Oh, okay. This is funny. All right, hold on. So it's hard to see on here, but it comes with a pin. Now, what's cool about this pin is if you know the game, it's hard to tell. This is a microwave and it's a reflective, like it's like a hologram. You do this, it's a gerbil, and then it turns into blood. I don't know if you can kind of see that moving a little bit. Now, the reason that is there's a part in this game where you can piss off one of the family members. He has a pet gerbil, and you can steal it from his room, and you put him in the microwave, and he explodes. So they made a pin with that, which is pretty freaking funny. That's wild. Now think about that. Like that was part of the game. That was something I was doing as a kid at like 7 years old. I'm sticking gerbils or hamsters inside a microwave and blowing them up at 7 in a video game. Times were different then, guys. But man, I really want to open this, but I'm like, what the there's a Nintendo is there? It feels like there's something else in here. Is there a shirt? Fuck. All right, guys. Do I open this or do I not open this? I feel like there's something in here. I feel the game, but there's something puffy. I don't think you think there's a shirt in here. I don't. Hold on. Let me see if I can pull. Let me see if I can pull their website up before I open this thing. All right, hold on. Limited run games Maniac Mansion. Let's see what it says. All right, I'm going to share this. I'll share this with you guys so you guys can see what I'm doing over here. I'm going to share the screen. Let's see. Share screen. Okay. Let's look at this together. Okay. Now you can see how much I paid for it. It's sold out. All right. So I guess no. Oh, okay. So it must. Okay. So it's a poster. So this came in the original. So inside here you get this poster, and you get the directions with the game. Let's make sure. Details. Maniac Mansion Premium Edition includes physical copy, Maniac Mansion on NES, Maniac original soundtrack, Maniac Mansion box, manual, 2-sided 18 by 24 poster, bulletin board poster, lenticular microwave pin, logo patch, mini game keychain. Number of players, 1. Okay, so I'm not going to open it. Okay, there's a game in there, and there's a poster, and there's the directions. Okay. I want to display this, and I'm going to keep it sealed and buy a nice protective case for it. I know it's crazy to buy that and keep it sealed, but this was a nostalgia buy for me. My favorite game. Again, I wish I could get this game on a newer system. And I know many people might be like, oh, just do like an emulator or whatever. I could, but I just really wish someone would release it on like, PS4 or whatever. And I'm not a gamer, so I don't have PS5, but I'd love to play this again on a current system. But with that being said, I will promote a game. If you guys are a fan of this style. All right, let me see what people are saying over there. Yeah, they do sell out quick, and sometimes they are orders. Let it breathe, self-controlled. Oh man. I know. All right. Stay strong, brother. You remember that fish? Put the gerbil in the microwave. Do you remember that? I'm way behind on the chat, so I don't know if people remember the game. Oh yeah, he remembers it. Holy smokes, G! I remember Maniac Mansion, tons of fun. Yes. What's up, Foch? Um, yeah, it was my favorite game, and I think my brother is the same. Um, I wish I had this to play now, but if you were a fan of this game, now I don't know how accessible this is. You might be able to get it on like a PlayStation store, but this cool box that was put out by um Limited Run Games was for a game called Thimbleweed Park. Thimbleweed Park. And I might have to go get it. I don't know if I left it in the other room, but here's the game. This again, if you look at my Maniac Mansion, look at how similar this looks. Now, this was released a couple years ago by Limited Run Games for a game called Thimbleweed Park. Thimbleweed Park is the closest thing to Maniac Mansion that I've ever played, and it's modern. It's a current game, and I loved it. This is a cross between Maniac Mansion, X-Files, and Twin Peaks. If that sounds great to you, I would highly recommend checking this out. Now, where can you get this game? I don't know. This was something I got. I'm going to see what's in here. I haven't opened it in a long time. This is something that I got from Limited Run Games, and it was for PS4. Fuck it, I'm just gonna open this thing. And I think I might have the PS4 one in the other room. So yeah, this came with some swag. Like you get a paper for the game. It's promotion for the game. It comes with the soundtrack on cassettes. It comes with stickers and whatnot. Okay, so little notepad. Nothing crazy. The game is in my other area over there. So that sucks. But I would say, guys, if you are a fan of Maniac Mansion, hunt down a game called Thimbleweed Park. Watch a trailer online. I think you're going to really dig this game. I freaking loved it. It felt like Maniac Mansion to me. Okay, cool. Thimbleweed Park is basically digital on all current consoles. Awesome, man. It's so worth it if you're a fan of these old school point and click games from like NES, the PC back in the day. This is a fun one. I hope there's a Maniac Mansion anything in the future. I don't care if it's a remake of the game. I don't care if it's a movie. Anything Maniac Mansion, I am 100% down for because I think the concept is freaking awesome. And it was such a fun game as a kid to be sneaking into people's houses and causing havoc and them trying to chase you. And it was wild. There was blood all over the walls. It felt like a horror movie video game, but again, I was like 7 and 8 years old playing it. Yeah, like again, I'm not a huge gamer, so some of these I don't know, but like for instance, Limited Run Games put out a physical release of Shadow of the Ninja Reborn. I don't know what that is. But it sounds awesome. Awesome looking remake of the NES classic Shadow of the Ninja Reborn. I don't remember that for Nintendo. I don't know what this means. It's on Steam, Maniac Mansion for us. I know. I see. I'm not in with the like link. What is Steam? I don't know what Steam is. I don't know what Steam is. Is Maniac Mansion available for a digital download on any systems? That I don't know. Sorry guys, I'm way behind. Oh, Chris C said he ordered some stuff from Katana. That's awesome, man. Thank you. Thank you. But yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to talk about tonight. I had this. I wanted to kind of showcase it with you guys, talk about it because again, this game just brings back so many memories. And I say this all the time. It's my all-time favorite game ever. I know somebody had mentioned in the comments they would love me to do a top 10 favorite video games. I'll be happy to do that. But just be mindful that as the years get, like, as I start getting older, I play less and less. So the majority of my favorite games are probably going to take place for systems like Nintendo, Sega Genesis, Nintendo 64. Stuff along those lines is probably what I'm going to be talking about mostly. But like I said, Friday the 13th would be right up there for PlayStation 4, 100%. I also really liked a game called Until Dawn. Thought that was a really cool game. I actually did buy a game I was really digging. I just haven't had time to play it. It's basically by the makers of Until Dawn, but you're at like a summer camp and like David Arquette's in it and stuff. So if you guys know which one I'm talking about, I thought that was really fun as well. Um, yeah, it's one of those things that I wish I could because it seems like people just have a ball with it and it seems so chill and relaxing. But I just never could get into it. Dude, 100%. This is exactly what I'm talking about. How freaking sick would this be? A Maniac Mansion movie with multiple endings like Clue. Yes, 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 yes. 110%. Okay, this is funny too. Did I do one on this? I was thinking I might have did a Rad Memories on this one. Maybe, maybe not. But I have a lot of nostalgia with Friday the 13th for NES too. A lot. And I still own it for NES as well. Um, a lot of nostalgia. I was a big fan of that game. The Quarry. Thank you, DG. That's yeah. Yes. 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 Oh, it's getting a remake. I love both those games. Yes. Dude, I did too. I played for months, every couple nights a week for hours. Loved it. Loved it so much. I miss it. Um, what's up, Corey? You know what's funny? I played a little bit, but like we got the original PlayStation, like it was almost a transition. Like, how am I gonna put this? It was strange because like we always went and I could tell you my video game history, at least mine. So growing up, my dad had Atari. I remember playing it a couple times as a kid. And then we got Nintendo in like the early mid 80s, late 80s. And we played that for it felt like ever. We had a ton of games for it. Felt like ever. Then I remember there was a Christmas, maybe of like 91 or something. And my mom said, all right, Christmas is coming. You have a choice. What do you want? We want a video game. We want Super Nintendo. Okay. So as we were getting closer to Christmas, it was like, you have a choice. Do you want Super Nintendo or Sega Genesis? And we were like, ooh, shoot, what do we want? And we started to see commercials, and it was like Genesis does, and it was showing Sonic saying how it was so much better than Nintendo. So we're like, oh, we want Sega Genesis. So we actually never had Super Nintendo, which my brother regrets to this day. And then we went from Sega Genesis to Sega Saturn, which was a beast of a system. But the problem with Sega Saturn was there was no games. So there's barely any games for it. I remember playing Tomb Raider for the first time. There was a game called Knights. I had some wrestling games. There was some cool games for it. But then, it just stopped making games. Like we were getting so bored. So I remember I think it was my birthday. I got Nintendo 64 because we were just so bummed about Saturn at that point. We were so bummed out about it. So I think I used my birthday money to buy Nintendo 64. And because I bought it was the first system I bought with my own money, technically. The rest were always like Christmas gifts and stuff. That I started to trade in all my Nintendo games to pay for games and stuff for Nintendo 64. And we love Nintendo 64. And we played that a lot. And then I think my brother, for his birthday or something, bought PlayStation. But for some reason, I think I had Nintendo 64 in my room and he had PlayStation in his room. So I never played it a lot. So Twisted Metal I played, but not a ton. I remember playing Metal Gear Solid a lot. So I don't have a lot of memories with the original PlayStation. I was more of an N64 guy. And then I think after N64, I went to PS2, I think. And I loved PlayStation 2 a lot. And then I think my brother got Xbox. And then I think I went from PlayStation 2 to Xbox 360. And then I got Xbox One, I think. And then I got PlayStation 4. Maybe I didn't get Xbox One. Maybe it was PlayStation. I think I got 360 and then it went right to Xbox One, I think. Um, and I think I got Wii in there as well. Anyway, that was kind of my history of systems, by the way. But I agree. As a kid, I used to fantasize about Neo Geo. I think it was like Samurai Showdown and stuff. I was like, I gotta play that game. There was, yeah. We had a good arcade scene where I grew up. There was an arcade called Dream Machine, which we were really we used to go a lot. Um, it's funny, Jason. I never owned Game Boy or Game Gear ever. My friend owned Game Gear. And that thing was so loud and it took like so many batteries. But no, I never owned a handheld ever. I think it was one of those things my mom was like, "You guys play video games enough. The last thing I need is for you to be traveling with it." I think that was the issue. Um, oh wow, so that was it, huh? Neo Geo was one I always wanted, and what was the other TurboGrafx 16? Remember when like Bonk's Adventure came out? I remember always trying to get into that. Oh yeah, dude. Okay, you had a Saturn during the launch. Yes, it was so expensive when it came out, and it was huge, right? And you're right. I never had Sega CD. I never had 32X. I had there was two Die Hard games. Two Die Hard games. There was Die Hard, and there was like it was like you could pick like three different kinds. Like I think there was like a shooter and then something else. And then the Die Hard arcade game was freaking sick. So sick. I didn't have SNES, but I did have Killer Instinct for. I might have had Killer Instinct for. I had Killer Instinct, but for another system. So it was either Genesis or or N64, I think. Um, my brother still has the Saturn, I think, at his house. I think he still has that. That's like such a gem of a system now looking back on it. It was so ahead of its time. Uh yeah, man. So I have a son of he's 5 and we just bought him Switch for Christmas this year. He freaking loves it, man. And it's bringing me back a lot of nostalgia because he wants me to play Mario with him all the time, all these Mario games and he's even playing everything from Mario 1 to 2 to 3 to World, all the new stuff. So I'm like so Marioed out at this house right now. It's just like his favorite thing ever, but I love it because, it brings me back a little bit and be able to play with him. But I haven't dug deep in the library of like a lot of the older stuff. I really should get into some of that. Do they have Maniac Mansion on there? That's on that I'm curious about. Um, you have a Turbo Graphic? That's sick, dude. You have Bonk. Um, I never had a Dreamcast, but that's another system that I think is like heavily wanted by people. Saturn and Dreamcast people are really into now. Wow, you stuck it through, man. That's cool. Do you have them all? That'd be killer if you did. I knew one kid with the Sega Master System because I used to go over there and play what's the one Rise from Your Grave. I used to play that with him. What up, man? Oh, that's cool, man. I never played Pokemon. Right now it's like Mario City over here. He's got all the Mario games. And I with the collective mentality and the way I am, it's like he likes Mario and I'm like, "Oh, I'll get you all the games." Like I got to stop doing that. Um that is a deep cut. That is a deep cut. Guy, we have guys, we have 65 people in here talking video games right now. This is insanity to me. But I'm losing my voice as always. I will throw a shout out. If anybody does not follow my brother, he's been in a couple videos of mine. We do a lot of like eating challenges and whatnot. Look him up on YouTube and on Instagram. Actually, YouTube's their best platform. It's Lame Genie. They take video game songs from the past, present, and they make them into heavy metal songs. Very popular in the video game scene. They headline a lot of video game conventions and stuff. So check them out at Lame Genie on YouTube. My brother is the drummer and he records all their videos and whatnot. So go check them out. Give them a little like for me if you guys are big video gamers. Ooh, I got to get that. I gotta get that. You know what's funny, guys? I never played any Final Fantasy games. Yes, Altered Beast, Rise from Your Grave. Yeah. Die Hard Trilogy, yeah. Dude, I have both. I might still have them. My brother probably has them at his house. Those were fantastic games, the Die Hard ones. Wow, you do still? I'm actually kinda jealous of that. Kinda jealous of that. Fozzie says, "Would I ever get a vintage machine?" Top Skater, dude. Top Skater was so fun. It had like the Pennywise soundtrack. Oh, he said, I didn't even read the rest of it. Yeah, the Pennywise soundtrack was so killer. Um, on that, I loved Top Skater. We used to have down near me. There's like a boardwalk, called Hampton Beach. It's a couple hours from me. We used to go every summer, and my brother and I would hang on freaking Top Skater all day. Whoa, whoa. Loved it, man. Pennywise is a great freaking band too, by the way. Yeah, man, it's the collector in me. It's always like I want to give him what I didn't have, right? Oh, thanks, man. Thanks for checking them out. So maybe it was that. Maybe I had it for N64. Oh, dude, I love the Simpson games. I loved all those games. Virtual Bar. Remember that one? I love those. What's up, Tiana? Virtual Bar. Man, now you guys are getting me so nostalgic. Like, I want to go grab my son's Switch and just start downloading all these games. Do they have like all these on there, like versus Space Mutants and stuff? Man, that's sick. I still have my Sega Genesis still. It's not hooked up, but I have it. Um, Skate or Die. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Combo Breaker. Yeah, man, I was a big gamer. That's the thing. Like, as you can see, I know all this stuff, but I got out of it later in life. Um, but it brings back so many memories. My brother and I like spending hours and hours and hours gaming. Just us two sitting there and playing all these games. We used to rent a lot too. Every Friday night, it would be either rent a movie or rent a game for the weekend. Um, wow, that's impressive. Wow, dude, that's amazing. Oh, come on, Cody. You don't have to give me no money, pal. Jesus. What's up, my rad dude and everyone? Don't forget to let's get the like button. Go subscribe to Cody at Doodle Those Movies. He's one half of the rad dudes. Speaking of the rad dudes, we have a show coming up this month, and we're gonna be diving into Snick. If you were a kid of the 90s, you remembered Saturday Night Snick, and what a better time to do it is going to be on a Saturday night. We're going to talk about the history of Snick and some of our memories, because that was a staple in my childhood growing up, was watching Snick every Saturday night with my brother and my dad. So a lot to say on that show. So you guys like that, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and make sure to go subscribe to Doodle Those Movies Cody as well. Cody's so popular. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe that's what it was, actually. You might have hit it right on the money. As soon as I started to get dates, I think games were out the window. I think you're right, because me and my friend Mark used to play games all the time, and we were definitely in high school playing a lot of games. I love Golden Axe. So, guys, there's actually an arcade 2 hours from me, which is the world's biggest arcade, called Fun Spot, and I go there every summer with my son, and he freaking loves it. It's unreal, guys. It's like 3 floors. It's got games of the past. You've probably seen it. I've done a couple like reels and stuff on it when I'm there. It's pretty insane. Um, oh, that's cool. I used to have Burger Time on like the Power Pad or whatever. I wish I had a lot. I wish I had an orange couch. I wonder if I should get a chair like this and just put an orange cover over it. But I don't know if you'd be able to see it. Yeah, you got to get the Snick episode, baby. People are excited for Snick. Oh, that's cool. Look at that. My dad has ran a massive arcade in Maryland. Fun factor, and I would just give the keys to machines. That's sick, dude. Cody's on the road to 1K subs. Let's get him there before the Rad Dude show at the end of the month. So anybody watching it on the replay, if you're not subscribed to Dude Who Loves Movies, go and give him a sub. I want him at 1,000 subs by the next Snick Rad Dudes episode, because we'll use it as a Rad Dude Snick / celebration stream. So let's do it. Okay, so back to this. Do I want an arcade machine in my house? Absolutely. My only issue is I don't have the space. I do not have the space for arcades at the house. Unless I cleaned out my garage and put them in there, that is a possibility. But other than that, I've got nothing. Unless my son says he wants a video game arcade machine for his room, that's the only other place I have to put it. So that's why I don't own one. I would have had one by now if I had the space. I keep telling my brother, who's a huge gamer, like, he has this weird spot in his basement. I'm like, this is a strip. You should just get games to go all the way down. It would be so sick. I know Mel has a bunch of arcade games. Justin's got the Terminator game in his freaking his dining room or whatever, whatever that room is. What would I get though? Let me think. What would I get? Maybe not. I would probably get the Turtles one, I'm thinking. Do they have an X-Men one? I love the X-Men one. I don't know if there is one, but I would probably get Turtles if I'm not thinking of anything else. Turtles is definitely one I would get. Mortal Kombat would be cool, but I think Turtles is probably the one. Yeah, dude, Cody needs to finish the story. Finish the story. Cody, you got to take that as your 1K sub campaign trail. Finish the story. You like that? You like that? The Rad Dudes. Where do you think I got that from? The logo is the same thing. Do they have a Double Dragon one up? Because that would be the one I'd probably pick. Top 10 sitcoms could be a Rad Dudes episode, probably. Could I give you mine right now? Here's the thing. I don't watch TV shows. I haven't in a long time. So a lot of the ones I'm going to not say, you're going to be like, what? How could you not say It's Always Sunny? I've never seen it, guys. I've never seen that. Sitcoms. Roseanne, Seinfeld, Curb Your Enthusiasm. It's 3. Home Improvement is 4. Shoot. Help me out here. That's 4. I'd have to really think about it. I do have land. I'm sure that would fly. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I'd have to really think about the rest of the sitcoms, but those are definitely top 4. I freaking love Streets of Rage. I have Streets of Rage for something. The X-Men was so sick. That'd be so sick. Do you remember, if you guys have ever went into arcades back in the day and they had X-Men, no matter where you were in the arcade, you'd be playing, and in the background, you could, if you really tried to listen, you'd hear like you'd hear Colossus. Like, no matter where you were in the arcade, you always heard that, like, in the background. I freaking loved it. Oh man, Double Dragon 2 was so sick. So sick. That's still worth a lot of money, buddy. That's worth a lot of money. Dude, that's sick. I freaking love it. I freaking love it. Alf I liked, but I wouldn't say it's a top 10. Step by Step I liked, but I don't think it would be a top 10. I'd have to really think about it because I'm trying to think of like ones that I've seen. You know what's funny? I've not seen much Married with Children. For some reason, growing up, like my mother would not let us watch that ever. So I've seen it, but like not a lot. I do love the maybe Full House, maybe. Devin's Room, what's up, man? Thanks. Fresh Prince would probably be in the top 10. Probably be in the top 10. 100%. Um, yeah, when it gets late, I just sing and make noises. Yeah. Dinosaurs, I like it, but I don't know if it would be top 10. I feel like I'm missing things. I feel like I'm like not thinking of specific things. I was a Saved by the Bell fan, yes. Um, let me see. Yeah, I heard about that. It's kind of interesting. It's kind of sad that there's like bad blood or whatever. You know what? I might say The Office would be in the top 10. I actually really did like that. That's one of the last sitcoms I watched. Curb Your Enthusiasm is the only sitcom that I watch that's modern. Oh, Roseanne is freaking fantastic. Fantastic. Thanks, dude. Yeah, 69 in the chat, which is great because I literally did a double tonight. We had 100 people in the chat a little while ago. I interviewed the dudes from that are running Anchor Bay, and then we had it was early, and then they left, and I said, "What am I gonna do for the rest of the night?" Even though I've been up since 3 a.m. But now I'm wide awake. So I was like, I'll go back on live. I'm off tomorrow. And I didn't announce it. And we have 69 people. So I want to thank you guys for popping in here because I didn't even announce this. As you can see, there's no thumbnail made. This was kind of a spur of the moment in thing because I was bored. So I appreciate there to be this many people in there on something I didn't even promote. Boy Meets World, yes, but like I was by the time that was super popular, I was like kind of getting older. So I watched it, but like I wasn't as invested as a lot of other people were. I think I only was really invested because of Topanga. Actually, if you count Wonder Years as a sitcom, that's definitely in top 10. If the Wonder Years is counting, it's top 10. Goonies. Goonies. And I only say that because I didn't see Monster Squad as a kid. For some reason, that movie passed me by until I was older. So I don't know why that is, but I would have probably loved that more if I watched that as a kid. I do remember hanging with Mr. Cooper. If you guys like all that stuff, make sure to go into my playlist and type in Rad Dudes versus TGIF. So me and Cody did an episode where we talked about TGIF the same way we're going to do the Snick one. And I can't tell you how many people reached out to Cody and I after that episode and said how much nostalgia we unlocked with what we were talking about and the memories and all the different shows. So we're going to hope to do that the same way because that's what that show Rad Dudes is all about, is to break out nostalgia for you guys, because there's one thing that's super powerful and it's unlocking memories you thought you forgot about. So yeah, go check that out if you haven't. We talk about Mr. Cooper on there. Yeah, see, I never seen this show. I did see it when I heard William Zabka was on it. Then I started to watch it. Saved by the Bell, Jesse, Lisa, or Kelly? I would probably say Kelly Kapowski. I've never seen Big Bang Theory. No. It sounds like something I'd like according to most people, but I've never watched it. I've never watched Two and a Half Men either. Briscoe County with Bruce Campbell, yes. I was never a Friends guy. So, I mean, I watched it, but I didn't stick with it. I've probably actually seen more now than ever before because it's always on reruns all the time. I loved Small Wonder with Vicky the Robot. I have that series on DVD. So good. I wish I was a goat. I wish, but I'm not, sadly. I loved Blossom too. But thank you for the goat comment, Eli. I appreciate that. I will say, yeah, Fresh Prince has got to be up there. Yeah, Wonder Years is 100% in top 10. Seinfeld is probably my all-time favorite sitcom, 100%. Um, good question. We're getting teased with this Hitcher 4K. I don't know. I remember Parker Lewis Can't Lose, but I don't remember it at the same time. Seinfeld's funny because I find it to be like the funniest show of all time, but then there's a lot of people that were like, I don't like Seinfeld. And I'm like, how could you not? But it's not for everybody for whatever reason. I don't think it's a thing, but we did a great show on it. Adventures of Pete and Pete. I remember it, but I didn't watch it a lot. Um, Alex Mack, I think, was a little bit behind my time, but I do remember Clarissa. Monsters? No. Yeah, I do remember. I didn't watch it when it was on air. I have the DVD box set, I think, when it came out. I never watched. You know what? Growing Pains is actually very underrated, I will say. And I will even say Who's the Boss is one that I could maybe squeak in the top 10. But Growing Pains is, I went back and watched that recently and I was like, wow, this is actually really good. I forgot how good Growing Pains was. Um, Say what you want about freaking Kirk Cameron, but he was amazing at that point in time. He was so freaking good on that show. The thing is that um, there's a lot in that show now that makes me laugh because there's no way in hell it would ever be able to be on air now. It's crazy. Uh-oh. What are you quizzing me on here, TJ Frizz? What does Karate Kid and Snick have in common? Holy crap. Jesus. You're gonna say it, and I'm gonna be like, I'm so stupid. Snick and Cobra Kai. And Karate Kid. Karate Kid. I don't know, TJ. I don't know. I don't know. I'm probably gonna be freaking out when you tell me. Um, that wasn't the plan. I just decided to do it because I was bored. Yeah, I was pissed too, actually. I was kind of pissed about that. Yeah, Who's the Boss is great. I never got into Frasier. I couldn't. I know Christian likes that, but I never could get into it. Oh, so good. I like that show. Um, Family Ties. You know what other one I'll even give? I even used to think Cosby's was a good show, but I mean, I don't know if I'd put top 10. Dude, I can watch Seinfeld over and over and over again and never get bored. Never get bored. Wow, see Seinfeld. All right, The Mystery Files of Shelby Woo. Dude, I don't even know what the hell that is. I don't think I've ever seen The Mystery Files of Shelby Woo. I've never seen that show. So, if that's something him and I have to talk about, it's going to be my first time. I have not. No. I would love that. I have the DVD, but yeah, man, it's such a good friggin' show. Three's Company was good. I've never seen Supernatural. Oh, I like the Goldbergs. I do like the Goldbergs. I actually did watch that. I haven't seen all of it. I have the first couple seasons on DVD. But I thought that was a great show, actually. Dawson's Creek, I watched it, but it wasn't something I watched all the time. Um, so I love Salute Your Shorts. I loved Punky Brewster. That's another one I would love to go back and watch. Hang with Mr. Cooper was killer. Yeah, it's definitely a deep cut. I never even heard of that thing. All right, good. So Cody can talk about this. Mom is. I remember that. I'd like 90210. You know what's funny? It just goes to show as like my teenage years. Cody and I talked about this. Cody, help me out here in the chat. What was the sitcom that we talked about where I said I used to watch it It was on, like, late nights. As a teenager, I'd always watch it because the chick in it was, like, gorgeous. It was kind of like a newer version of, like, Married with Children, but there was, like, that daughter, she was, like, the main star. Who the heck what the heck show was that? It was kinda, like, risque kind of sitcom. Yeah, it was the one with Nikki Cox. What was that show called? I used to love that show as a teenager. Yeah. Unhappily Ever After, I used to watch all the time as a freaking teenager. Yes. I used to love that show, of course. I used to like Carmen Sandiego too. Alright, guys, you're gonna freak out about this. I've told this story before. Hey Dude, I didn't watch because for some reason when I was a kid, that dude Danny in it used to scare the shit out of me. He was like that Indian kid or whatever. I don't know what it was about him. He used to freak me out. I couldn't watch Hey Dude. I couldn't. So that's my shitty story of the night. the night. Yeah, dude, I used to love that show. I never saw this. I know people are going nuts in here. I'm just talking about TV. I was supposed to be about Maniac Mansion. It's freaking an hour and 20-minute bullshit. Um, that is so funny. Oh, really? She was gorgeous, man. I love 21 Jump Street too. Guys, you're killing me. I should just do a freaking we should do TV tag or something like that because you guys are going nuts. But I gotta get going. I can tell my voice is getting shot. I wanted to talk about Maniac Mansion. I did. Thank you guys for being so interactive. There's 70 people in here. Please, before you leave, hit the like button. If you are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. I apologize to anybody who is watching this on the replay and this thing just went off the rails. I will be back. We're going to be doing a double dose of Rad Pack on Friday. So, guys, pay attention. Follow me on social media at Born to Be Rad. We're going to be doing, listen to this. I don't even think we've announced it yet. This Friday night, we're going to do a double dose of Rad Pack. 9 p.m. We are going to do top 5 favorite jackets from movies. I'm a big fat the Rad Pack. You guys know we're big big fashionistas over there. So when it comes to outfits, we're really big on that. Jackets, I'm a big jacket guy. So we're going to be talking about our 5 favorite and raddest jackets from movies. So you want to chime into that and interact with us about that. And then after we're done the stream, we are going to do an after hours Rad Pack members only stream where I'm going to showcase my Duster jacket collection. So that's for members only. So if you go to the Rad Pack Pod channel and you become a member, then you can attend the after hours member stream where we're going to laugh and screw around as I model my 80s Duster jackets. So should be fun. And guys, I appreciate you guys checking this out. This is Garrett at Born to Be Rad. And like always, stay